Hello everyone, Red Lip here. Las Vegas, the city where culinary boundaries are pushed to their absolute limits, and restaurant concepts that shouldn't work somehow become the most brilliant ideas you've ever encountered. Today, we're diving into one of those head-scratching combinations that makes you wonder if someone lost a bet or had a stroke of genius. Hotpot meets sushi. All you can eat meets Wagyu beef. And somehow, impossibly, it all comes together at a price point that doesn't require you to mortgage your hotel room. We've spent countless hours, and probably too many antacids, testing every single item on this menu, so you don't have to. Wonder if this place is worth your precious Vegas dining dollars. The question isn't whether you should try all-you-can-eat Wagyu in Vegas. It's whether your stomach can handle what I'm about to tell you about this absolutely insane dining experience. Welcome to Sumo Hotpot Sushi, where $36.95 gets you access to a menu that reads like a fever dream of Japanese cuisine. Front and back, every single item available for your gluttonous pleasure, including Wagyu beef that would normally cost you that much for just 2 ounces at any steakhouse on the Strip. Now, I know what you're thinking. There's got to be a catch, right? All-you-can-eat Wagyu sounds like something a sketchy promoter whispers to you while handing out flyers on Las Vegas Boulevard. But here's where things get interesting. This isn't some tourist trap operation running frozen meat through a microwave. This is a legitimate dining experience that somehow cracked the code on offering premium ingredients at buffet prices. Let me walk you through what makes this place either the best-kept secret in Vegas dining or a mathematical impossibility that shouldn't exist. Starting with their pricing structure, because in Vegas, understanding the deal is half the battle of winning at dining. The dinner service at $36.95 includes their entire menu. And yes, that means the Wagyu. But here's the insider intelligence that'll save you serious cash if you're flexible with your dining schedule. They run a lunch special at $26.95 that excludes items marked with an A on the menu, which, honestly, still leaves you with enough options to eat yourself into a food coma. And if you're one of those night owls who thinks dinner at 9 p.m. is perfectly reasonable, they've got a late-night special after 9 o'clock, where that lunch menu drops to $19.99. Let that sink in for a moment. $19.99 for all-you-can-eat sushi and hot pot in Las Vegas, where a single cocktail at a casino bar costs $15. But pricing means nothing if the food doesn't deliver. So let's talk about what actually shows up at your table. The presentation alone tells you this isn't your typical all-you-can-eat situation, where quantity trumps quality. When that first sashimi platter arrives, you're looking at cuts so generous and fresh that the plate itself feels heavy. We're talking about slabs of salmon, tuna, and whitefish that would easily run you $20 per order at any respectable sushi bar on the Strip. The texture of that salmon hits you immediately, with that perfect, silky smoothness that only comes from proper handling and quality sourcing. None of that stringy, previously frozen disappointment you find at lesser establishments trying to pass off grocery store fish as sashimi. The whitefish, which appears to be sea bass or halibut, has this incredible pearlescent quality that practically glows on the plate. One bite and you're getting that clean, sweet ocean flavor with absolutely zero fishiness. Just pure, delicate seafood that melts on your tongue, like butter left in the Vegas sun. But here's where Sumo really starts showing off. That Wagyu beef for the hot pot? Now, I've had Wagyu at practically every price point in this city, from the $50 appetizers at fine dining establishments to the $300 ribeyes at the celebrity chef steakhouses. This Wagyu, while obviously not a 5 Japanese grade, shows beautiful marbling that immediately starts rendering the moment it hits that bubbling broth. The fat ribbons through the meat create these pockets of flavor that burst with each bite, coating your mouth with that distinctive richness that separates Wagyu from regular beef. Speaking of that broth, let's talk about what might be the sleeper hit of this entire experience. This isn't some sad, watered-down base that tastes like someone whispered the word beef near a pot of hot water. This broth has depth, complexity, and a richness that reminds me of proper bone broth that's been simmering for hours. You can taste the beef essence that's been extracted from actual bones, not bouillon cubes, creating this foundation that elevates every single ingredient you drop into it. The comparison that immediately comes to mind is that famous oxtail soup from that downtown cafe that locals gatekeep like their lives depend on it. Same level of beefy intensity, same mouth-coating richness, Same ability to make you close your eyes and forget you're in a strip mall restaurant. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Or should I say the sumo wrestler in the room? How does an all-you-can-eat place maintain quality while offering Wagyu beef at these prices? The answer lies in their clever menu engineering and understanding of American dining habits. Most people fill up on rice, tempura, and heavy appetizers before they ever get to the expensive proteins. But if you're smart about your ordering strategy, and I'm about to make you very smart, you can absolutely destroy their profit margins. Skip the rice completely, unless you're specifically craving sushi, because that hot pot broth and those proteins are where the real value lives. Start with the sashimi to appreciate the fish quality while your palate is fresh. Move to the grilled items, especially those scallops that I'm about to tell you about. Then hit the hot pot with multiple rounds of that Wagyu. Those scallops deserve their own paragraph because, holy mother of seafood, these things are spectacular. We're talking about perfectly seared diver scallops, with that golden crust that shatters under your teeth before giving way to the sweet, tender center. The char from the grill adds this smoky dimension that plays against the natural sweetness of the scallop. Each bite delivers that perfect contrast of textures, crispy exterior, custard-like interior, with a flavor that's pure ocean luxury. I've paid $30 for 3 scallops at strip restaurants that weren't executed this well. Here, you can order them repeatedly until your server starts giving you concerned looks about your cholesterol levels. The yakitori skewers present another value proposition that most people completely overlook. These aren't your sad mall food court chicken on a stick situations. The pork skewers come out with perfect grill marks, juicy centers, and that slightly charred flavor that only comes from actual flame cooking. The chicken maintains moisture while developing that golden brown exterior that screams proper technique. Even the bacon-wrapped cherry tomatoes, which sound like something from a 1960s cookbook your grandmother would make, surprise with their execution. The bacon renders properly, the tomato maintains structure while releasing its sweetness, and together they create this umami bomb that justifies their existence. But perhaps the most impressive aspect of Sumo's operation is their sushi program. The salmon belly nigiri alone would be worth the price of admission at most places. That perfect ratio of rice to fish, with the salmon belly's oils melding with the slightly warm rice, creates this moment of pure sushi bliss. The rice has that proper seasoning and temperature that tells you someone in that kitchen actually gives a damn about traditional technique. They're not just slapping cold fish on packed rice and calling it nigiri. This is properly formed, properly proportioned, and properly presented sushi that respects the craft while making it accessible. The specialty rolls, while leaning toward American preferences, with their generous use of sauces and creative ingredients, still maintain quality standards. That cream cheese might make traditionalists cringe, but when it's balanced properly with fresh fish and quality nori, it creates these flavor combinations that work despite themselves. Now, let's talk strategy for maximizing your experience at Sumo. First, come hungry. But not so hungry that you make rookie mistakes like loading up on tempura vegetables or California rolls. Second, understand the ordering rhythm. Place your first order for variety to taste everything. Then double down on your favorites in subsequent rounds. Third, respect the all-you-can-eat rules. They mark certain items as 1 per person or 1 per table for a reason, usually because those are the loss leaders they're using to draw you in. Fourth, and this is crucial, don't sleep on that late-night special. $19.99 after 9 p.m. is possibly the best dining deal in Las Vegas, especially when you consider that most buffets are charging $60 to $80 these days. The service deserves recognition too. In a city where all-you-can-eat often means all-you-can-wait, Sumo keeps things moving with impressive efficiency. Orders arrive quickly enough that you're never sitting there staring at empty plates, but paced well enough that you don't feel rushed. The servers understand the assignment, keeping drinks filled, plates cleared, and orders flowing without hovering or pressuring. This brings us to the inevitable comparison with Vegas's other all-you-can-eat options. How does Sumo stack up against the Korean barbecue joints, the traditional sushi spots, and the hot pot specialists? Against the Korean barbecue places charging $50 to $70, Sumo wins on variety and price. You're getting comparable meat quality with the added bonus of sushi and hot pot options. Compared to dedicated AYCE sushi spots like Sakana or Janga, Sumo might not have the same extensive sushi menu, but the addition of hot pot and grilled items makes it more versatile. Plus, the quality of what they do offer holds its own against places charging $10 to $15 more. Against traditional hot pot restaurants, Sumo's simplified approach might disappoint purists who want 15 different soup bases and 50 ingredients. But for the average diner who wants quality over overwhelming variety, this focused menu works perfectly. The lunch versus dinner decision really comes down to whether you need that Wagyu fix. If you're content with regular beef and the extensive seafood options, that lunch special is unbeatable value. But honestly, for $10 more, getting access to Wagyu at dinner feels like the smarter play. This is Vegas, after all, where we come to indulge, not to make sensible decisions. That late-night option, though, that's the sweet spot for budget-conscious food lovers. Same lunch menu, even lower price, and you avoid the dinner rush, while possibly catching the kitchen when they're most eager to move product. Let's also address potential concerns, because I know some of you are thinking this sounds too good to be true. The location isn't on the Strip, which means you'll need transportation. But that's precisely why the prices can stay this low. The atmosphere is casual, not the place for impressing a date or closing a business deal. This is about the food, period. Without the Vegas glitz markup, quality can vary slightly depending on how busy they are, as with any restaurant. But even on their off days, the value proposition remains strong enough to justify the visit. The all-you-can-eat format might not suit those who prefer leisurely coursed dining. This is strategic eating, where you need to pace yourself and order intelligently to maximize value. For visitors staying on the Strip, the trek might seem daunting. But consider this. A round-trip Uber costs less than what you'd save compared to eating at your hotel's restaurants. For locals, this place should be in your regular rotation. Where else can you get Wagyu, sashimi, and endless scallops for less than $40? This is the kind of spot you hit when friends visit and you want to show them that Vegas dining exists beyond celebrity chef restaurants and tourist trap buffets. It's proof that value and quality aren't mutually exclusive in this city, if you know where to look. The demographic here tells the story too. You'll see locals who figured out the game, industry folks grabbing a meal before or after shifts, and the occasional tourist who did their research. What you won't see are the Instagram influencers and bachelorette parties. This isn't that kind of place. And honestly, that's what makes it special. Sumo Hotpot and Sushi represent something increasingly rare in Las Vegas dining. It's not trying to be more than it is, not chasing trends or gimmicks, just delivering solid value on quality ingredients. In a city where everything feels like it's designed to separate you from your money as efficiently as possible, finding a place that actually wants to feed you well at a fair price feels almost subversive. Like you've discovered a glitch in the Vegas matrix that somehow benefits the customer. The fact that they're pulling this off with Wagyu beef, fresh sashimi, and properly executed grilled seafood makes it even more impressive. These aren't corners being cut. They're smart decisions being made about what matters to actual diners versus what makes for Instagram content. Is it perfect? No. Is it the best sushi in Vegas? Not even close. Is it the best hot pot experience you can have? There are more elaborate options. But is it the best value for unlimited quality protein in Las Vegas right now? Absolutely. Without question. For tourists, this should be your recovery meal after an expensive night on the Strip. For locals, this is your secret weapon for feeding friends without breaking the bank. For anyone who appreciates the simple pleasure of eating really good food until you can't eat anymore, Sumo is doing the Lord's work. They're proving that all you can eat doesn't have to mean all you can regret. The verdict is clear, as that hot pot broth after you've cooked a few rounds of Wagyu in it. Sumo Hotpot and Sushi isn't just good for an all-you-can-eat place. It's good, period. At $36.95 for dinner, or that ridiculous $19.99 late-night special, it's not just competitive with other AYCE options. It's competitive with regular restaurants charging twice as much for half the food. This is the kind of place that makes you reconsider what dining value means in Las Vegas. Not every meal needs to be an Instagram moment or a celebrity chef experience. Sometimes the best meal is the one where you walk out full, happy, and with money still in your wallet. Sumo delivers on all three, with the added bonus of Wagyu beef that has no business being this accessible. Until we eat again, this is Red Lip saying skip the overpriced Strip buffets and head to where the real value lives. Like and subscribe if you want more insider Vegas dining intelligence, hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next discovery. Next week, we're taking on the most controversial buffet in Vegas history. And trust me, you're going to want to see which sacred cows we're about to slaughter. This is Red Lip, keeping your stomach full and your wallet fuller in Las Vegas.